What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I just wanted to come on here and teach you guys how to use Bookmap, right? So if you've never heard of Bookmap, it is this crazy looking thing that you can get for free on Thinkorswim. All you have to do is just go to support, click support, type to them, can I get Bookmap installed on here for free, whatever, and they'll do it. You'll get it like either within the day or the next day, and boom, you'll have it for free. Granted, you can only look at ES, Apple, and Microsoft, and the paid version is like $50 a month for the good one, and you don't need that as a beginner. You don't even really need Bookmap at all, but it definitely is a nice key tool to just see where, you know, a majority of the limit orders are, you know, happening and being placed in the market. And you can just see areas of liquidity, right? These big orange little blobs, right? Anywhere that you see more orange than blue, that means that there's a lot more contracts sitting at that price point, right? And we call this entire thing a heat map because, you know, you can just blue to red, so it shows, you know, the more yellow or orange or red it is, the more contracts are going to be sitting at that area, right? So I want to talk about a passive order and a aggressive order, because now I'm going to go into what is those green and red blobs that you see right here and what exactly those are and how to use them. So first of all, a passive order is a limit order, right? I'm sure that you know all of this by now, but if you don't, a limit order is when you place, you can see right there, buy one plus limit. You place that at whatever price, and it just sits there. And until price comes down and trades at, let's say, 4165, where you place that limit, then boom, that's a passive order. You're not either buying the ask, which is aggressive, or buying market, which is getting in right now. And that's removing liquidity when you use a market order. A passive order adds liquidity to the market because you're adding contracts on the depth of market. When you use, let's say buy market, 100 contracts, you'll take, however many contracts you would take, basically a tick or two off of liquidity off of the depth of market. So you have passive orders, which are limit, and aggressive, which are mostly market orders. I mean, I would kind of want to include like hit and take. So taking the ask, so buying, and hitting the bid, selling, also as aggressive, because that is an aggressive, order. But when you see these blobs on Bookmap right here, that is market orders and transactions that are happening, at each bid and ask. So that is what that is. And basically, yeah, just the rundown of Bookmap and how to use it. For the free version, I think the free version kind of is pretty handicapped. I know you can see like market delta, which would show how many more transactions happen at the ask or bid. So if you have a negative delta, then that would mean that there's a lot more, people hitting the bid aggressively. And if there's a positive delta, there's a lot more people that are hitting the ask aggressively. So, you can kind of see market absorption and all that kind of stuff. I don't have the paid version of Bookmap. So if you do want to see what all that kind of stuff looks like, you can go to Carmine Rosato's channel. I really like him as a teacher. I think he explains everything really, really nicely. You can go look at him and just see all his videos that he has on the paid version of Bookmap. When I do get the paid version eventually, I'll make a video on that. But right now, I just don't think there's any reason to upgrade at the moment because I'm doing just fine. But basically, So let's see if we can go back in time here. So basically, when you see the orange lines right here, if you see them and you see them coming in from the left and then they get taken off, that means that liquidity was removed. Either A, it was removed, someone bought there, right here, someone bought here, and it was removed, which it kind of looks like that, right? Kind of looks like that. The second that this green dot hit, the orange there, all the contracts, that all got taken off, right? Got taken off right here as well. If you see something like, let's say right here, where there's a gap, but no, nothing that got traded there, well, then that would mean that, no one bought anywhere near that. So someone just removed their liquidity, like right here, on their own. They canceled their orders. And you can use Bookmap to spot where big boys, where big institutional players or just big traders, whatever, are buying and selling, and where they're getting in, right? I mean, volume 790 at 169, at 4169. That is a ton of contracts. All right, that is a ton of contracts. 305 right there, 52, 18. That's all decent amount of size. 240, 151, 226. Right, all of that, ton of contracts. So you want to spot big bubbles, and these big bubbles show that there's a lot more volume being traded, at that point. And let's see. So then if you see that price is going up and then you start seeing orange below it, then that means that there's a lot more, buying orders, buying limit orders that are coming into the market, and they want to buy here. Right? So now you can just kind of see where a lot more contracts and where a lot more orders at what prices are being placed. Right? And again, Bookmap is not, some magical cheat code, right? It's not like you see a bunch of buying orders right here and, oh, okay, that's where the market's going to bounce. No, it could easily, like, where's a good example? It could easily, like right here, right? You saw that right here, right? When we were all the way up here, like 10 plus points below, a big player put a bunch of contracts at around 4170, and they had it, and then once price got lower, came down, a lot more contracts got added here at 4170, and then price kind of almost touched that and grabbed all that liquidity, except then it broke through. Seller tried to break 4170, they got absorbed for 3 points, and then there was no one else to replenish that liquidity here, and price just tumbles on down, right? So it's not some magical cheat code. Sometimes, yeah, it will, it will come here, take all that liquidity off, and then go back up, and that's kind of what you want to see, right? But if we go to a live example right now, let's see, where would it be? Boom, right here, you can see that right now, price is getting absorbed into this, deep liquidity zone, right? All that orange, there's a ton of contracts right here. A lot of sellers are placing orders right now. And if you see a bunch of green dots that indicate that was a transaction, an aggressive buying transaction at a spot where there's high liquidity, and then price goes down, that means that sellers were more aggressive. Because if someone market bought 720 contracts right here, right? If someone market bought 720 contracts, removed all that liquidity, right? There's not a lot of red or orange. There's just blue, light white, and a little bit of orange and yellow. And they couldn't break it above, then yeah, sellers are stepping in. And at this moment, this is a live example. At this moment, seller or buyers are not willing to step up and break this little liquidity zone 4172 and break above that. And if you had the paid version, you'd be able to see cumulative volume delta. And if now we're getting negative, so there's a lot of just, there's a lot of selling pressure that's hitting the bid, and you see that buyers got absorbed right here, well, then I would actually fully expect that price would tank at least a little bit, right? The price would tank somewhere, and then, you know, go from there wherever that would be. But that's just an example, right? Like right here, perfect example. Okay, look how many contracts, 370 at 41.71, right? And then this person, 1,000 contracts, right? And they kind of group this together, but it's at the same price. So 869 individual and then 292, right? And you can keep breaking it up. But so basically it's a shit ton of contracts, over 1,000 that took all this liquidity off right here. And buyers just weren't able to break that, right? So buyers come in, or, price comes up into this liquidity zone. Buyers try to break through, they can't. Boom, they get absorbed all the way down here. So when you see green dots at, a seller or selling price, right, in the red, right? When you see green dots in a higher liquidity zone and that gets absorbed, then you would think that price would now come on down. Same thing with, a red bubble at, a lower price, or just, low, right? So sellers tried to push price down. Really, that was a crazy sell-off right here. And they got absorbed at the bottom, right? Now, again, just seeing green dots at random high points does not mean that automatically that we're just going to reject that, because buyers now could easily break through 4171.5 to 4172 or 72.25 and absorb all the selling pressure right here, and then we're rolling on past there, squeezing the shorts. But at this point, now that I see this big green dot, this big green dot, that kind of looks, that kind of looks like we're going to go and head on down, And with Bookmap, there's no way to tell how much we're going to go up or down if we break certain levels. You can kind of just spot little liquidity areas at certain points. But again, there is no magical way, to spot that, okay, if we do reject 4170, oh, we're automatically going to go, to XYZ place. Because a lot of times when you see stuff like this, little areas that are way above, those are just, spoof orders, basically, which, whoever's placing that really doesn't intend to get those orders filled. They just want to make, the chart, and they just want to make the chart look like, oh, there's a lot of liquidity. Maybe, could take it at 4175 or 4180 and fool people into buying, So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you need to know about Bookmap. Again, this is not some magical cheat code. There is no magical cheat code in the market in trading. This just helps just a little bit more to see where liquidity is and where a lot of orders are sitting. That's it. Right? It's just a visualization tool. If you went to the active trader, see all of this stuff, right? You see 345 at 4171.5, right? Boom, right there. Basically around the same amount of contracts right there. So it's just a visualization tool, okay? It's not a magical cheat code. Yeah, and then also really quick, guys, this is, bookmap.com. If you can see it right here, so I'm not blocking it, bookmap.com/packages comparison. You can just go and see there's digital free, don't use that one, digital plus, global, and global plus. And, so you can see with global, which is, the one that you would want, you can get global plus too, but that's just more expensive. With global, you can get all of this stuff, all of this stuff. In my opinion, like all this kind of stuff, you really don't need this stuff. All you would really want is just the global package. This is like literally double as expensive. I think it's like you can just trade from Bookmap. I don't really prefer that at all, but this is basically what it looks like. This is all the stuff that you can get in Bookmap. This is what you'd be paying an extra $50 a month for. So, I don't really think it's that useful to get the $99 a month package, but just want to show you guys that so you know what it looks like and what to do with that information. And then just another little live example here. So you saw that, yeah, we did kind of get absorbed right here. And then sellers still loaded up, right? They took a bunch of, contracts out right here and then put them all back in, right? You can see that it's sticking out right here, right? From 4171.5 to 4172, there's just a really big increase of orders that are sitting there. You can see that right here. And we rolled on over about 4-ish points. And then buyers just, bid that up. Would you have been able to tell that this exact point at around 4166 that we would have bounced there? No. There was no influx of orders sitting there that just got absorbed. There just happened to be some buyer at 4166 that just bought there and then kept bidding up the price, right? So, and now there's just a bunch of orders that continue to sit there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video about Bookmap. Again, guys, it's not a magical tool, okay? Again, trading is a game about probabilities. It's not about being right 24/7, all right? And you can see right there, look at that, boom. Huge market order, 920 and 549 just swept all that liquidity right here. Now there's not as many contracts that are being placed right here again to reload. So where do we go from here? I'm not sure. If we can get aggressive again, if you see cumulative volume delta now being higher than it just was right here, then that would show that there's an increase in buying pressure and we would go on and start targeting, higher levels of liquidity. And also, just so you know, I did not cover this, but if you want to get it, to be like mine, this little, whatever this is, studies configuration, just slide that all the way to the right so you don't get just meaningless blue data, essentially. Just slide that to the right and you'll get a much, much cleaner picture of what's going on. So once again, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just go to Thinkorswim and ask them to get Bookmap on your account, and they'll do that. And then you can just, get your market intuition on Bookmap and just study that, see what's going on, see who's more aggressive, going to see all of that. And it's a good tool to add on top of, your own strategy, but it's not ideal to solely and only look at Bookmap, right? You still need to have a strategy, you still need to have levels marked out, all that kind of stuff. But thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. If you guys can just like, comment, subscribe, that'd be awesome. Thanks again for watching. See you guys in the next one.